Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another Living Environment Regents exam review. Hope everyone's enjoying your time off and that you're studying nonstop. This is episode 5, Body Systems. We're going to go through really quickly, just as a refresher, our body systems. So let's go. All right. First of all, when they talk about bodies on the Regents, it's always related to homeostasis. And that is maintaining a pretty nice balance in your body. Now, it's kind of mentioned different ways on the Regents. One way is dynamic equilibrium. Other ways is words like constant, stable, regulating, regulate. These are all related to homeostasis, basically your body working to keep you nice and balanced. Now, let's say you ate a cookie. Cookie. This, of course, would raise your glucose level or increase your blood sugar. Now, what the Regents kind of wants you to know, and they love blood sugar as an example, is how does your body control or regulate this sugar coming in? So, for example, your pancreas, which is obviously in flames, your pancreas will release insulin, which they also love on the Regents. And what insulin does is it's a hormone that controls and drops your blood sugar. So you get a decrease in blood sugar. Okay, so this is an example of homeostasis. Now, the thing that controls the shutoff of insulin is called a feedback mechanism. A feedback mechanism is basically once you reach a nice level of blood sugar, that's what makes insulin shut off. So your body basically listens to itself and gets feedback, and that's what shuts off anything that is doing the controlling. Here's an example. Kind of nice little diagram. Feedback mechanisms are usually shown as like little flowchart wheels. And the easiest question you can get is this one. The diagram illustrates part of, bam, a feedback mechanism. Here's another one. Feedback interactions in the human body are important because they blah, 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 blah. And if you were to do this question, you would find out that it's number 4. Keep the internal body environment within its normal range. Fancy way of saying nice and balanced. Now, in plants, homeostasis comes up one special way. It's with the stomata, also known as the stomates. And these are at the bottom of the leaf. And what they are is they're the plant's way of controlling water, regulating water with these things, 2 cells called guard cells. And they open and close to basically control the levels of water in the plant. All right, let's start with us. The digestive system. You don't really need to label any parts like esophagus or gallbladder or stuff like that. Basically, what they want you to know is the main, with all the body system, the main function and how it works. So here are some popular things that you're asked. First of all, what it does. The main thing it does is break up food into usable nutrients. Basically, when we eat, stuff is too large to get into our cells, so we want to break it down. The main one, starch. Starch is huge, and the way we break it down is we break it down into the sugar we use for energy, which is glucose. So that's very popular, starch to glucose. Also seen as a complex sugar to a simple sugar. Enzymes are very famous when talking about the digestive system. Enzymes basically break up like in your mouth, saliva amylase is a enzyme that breaks up sugars in your mouth, and pepsin is an enzyme which loves acidic environment in your stomach, which breaks down proteins. In the digestive system, where diffusion occurs, diffusion is also a popular topic with the body systems. Now, it occurs in the small intestine, in the villi, and the villi are basically, let's say you eat cookies. Well, diffusion happens, remember, high to low concentration. So any material outside of the villi diffuses in, and that's where diffusion happens. Now, the respiratory system's job is to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. Please, 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 please don't ever say that the job is breathing. The job of the respiratory system is not for us to breathe. Breathing basically is the way of us getting O2 and CO2 out of our bodies. So if you notice this little section right here, this is probably the most tested part of the respiratory system. It's the alveoli. And this is basically the end of the lungs where diffusion happens. It's where gas exchange happens, where O2 goes into our blood and CO2 comes out. That basically looks like this. What an awesome picture. Any kind of carbon dioxide, there's a lot of it, so it diffuses out, and oxygen gets put into our blood. Circulatory system. Okay, the job of the circulatory system is to transport materials. Now, just like before, please, 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 its job is not to transport blood. Very common wrong answer. No, blood is part of the circulatory system. Blood transports materials. So make sure that you don't say that. Materials that are transported are glucose, nutrients, hormones, gases, wastes. Oh, there it is. The immune system. The immune system. Its job is to keep us nice and healthy. It's responsible for fighting pathogens, bad guys. Other ways you see that is invaders, bacteria, viruses, or microbes. Now, two main ways that the immune system works. One is that it makes antibodies. Antibodies' job, their job is to collect. They don't kill the bacteria or viruses or microbes. They collect them and also mark them to be eaten by the white blood cells called macrophages. White blood cells engulf or eat the pathogens. In the immune system, immunity can be obtained by. That means, how do you get immune to stuff? Well, one way is you can get the disease, and if you get it, that means you make antibodies for it. Two, it can be passed on to children through mother's breast milk. Mom makes antibodies and passes them. And the third one is to get a vaccine, which is a dead or weak version of the disease in a shot, which you get and love, of course. Here was a Regents question. State two ways cells of the immune system fight disease, and you can write stuff like the cells create antibodies and engulf pathogens such as viruses and bacteria. So that's 2 points. Now, another thing is famous picture for white blood cells, usually drawn like this. The endocrine system. Well, its job is to release hormones, the endocrine system. And famous hormones you're tested are testosterone, insulin, growth hormone, estrogen, stuff like that. Now, they're released into the blood, and they look for what are called target cells. And target cells basically take in these hormones and do their job. Excretory system, that one excretes. It removes harmful waste. Now, don't think food waste. That's basically the digestive system. Waste through liquid waste, like stuff that gets sent to your liver or your kidneys, as shown by this really disturbing, weird picture. And that's a super fast review of our body systems. Make sure you guys really review them and study them. But that's kind of a gist of what you might find on the Regents. Cool. See you.